It was not liberation. Nobody liberated us. We became suddenly free. Free to this extent that we didn't know how to deal with the freedom. We didn't know where to go. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. The Germans left. The Ukrainians were yet here and there, but almost left too. A friend of ours who was in contact with the underground, he went out to town and he saw the Russians. He came to us, said the Russians are here. But the Russians did not come to open the gate and liberating us. We opened the gate because we decided that this was the moment to try to move. All our belongings under arm, and we went to this apartment. It was 2-bedroom, and we were 9 of us. It was very cold. We brought the mattresses into the kitchen, and we slept on the mattresses, all of us. It happened that people came from other camps through Częstochowa. And people, let's say, from Theresienstadt wanted to go back to Germany. Or, you know, from different other places. And they knocked to the doors, to our doors, to somebody else's door. Our door was always open. Our table had always 20 people. Small table, but, you know, we ate in shifts. I cooked a big pot of whatever, everyday beans and potatoes, and we all ate. Erwin and I decided to marry. I was missing my hometown, and I hoped that I will find somebody. I knew that I will not find my mother and sister because I knew that they were killed in Treblinka. I wanted to go back to my hometown, Lodz. And I went with Erwin. We found an apartment, a room and a half. The rest of the apartment was, the floors were taken off, apparently to heat somebody's place. The bathroom was so full that we could not use it, but it was a room and a half. Erwin went back to Częstochowa to bring our few belongings that we already had. This was the beginning of the new life. We were in Lodz, in my home city, and I walked the streets, not a familiar face. Erwin said, we are leaving to look for my brother, Menachem. He said, I am going to Buchenwald. He came to Buchenwald, and he met a guy from his hometown who during the bombardment lost a leg and stayed in Buchenwald. And he knew that everybody from Germany goes back to Poland. Here is somebody from Poland came to Germany. What are you doing here? Oh, I am looking for my brother. So he said, you know what, you go to the UNRRA and you will find out, maybe you will find something. How old is your brother? 13. They asked him, 13. 13, the children, we sent the children to France, and from there they will go to Palestine. So Erwin said, okay, give me a pass that I can go to France. They give him this pass, and while he waits till they write it, there are a lot of papers on the table, and he sees a paper with his brother's name. He said, what is this? We gave them boots, shoes, boots. So he was here. They started to call to loudspeaker, and in 5 minutes they were together. What happened? His brother knew that his brother was left in Poland. So he didn't want to go to France. He wanted to go back to Poland. So we found the brother. When we eventually came to Palestine.
What year was this?
This was 47. Mm-hmm. Why did we come to Palestine? We wanted really to go to Australia. Or Erwin wanted Norway. For me, Norway was out, it's cold. Australia. Okay, but if we go to Australia, we will not stay Jews, which was very hard for both of us, because we were not religious Jews from home, we were traditional Jews, And Hitler taught us double to be Jews. We came to Israel and we lived with my cousin in one room with cockroaches, and it was a horrible old house. We had a very hard time. We had to take on credit in the grocery. When I saw a uniform, a Jewish policeman, I was scared. And no matter how much Erwin said, Elizabeth, it's a Jewish policeman, I was scared. A uniform for me was Germany. I dreamt at night, and at this time, at the time of my imprisonment, I didn't have children, I was not married. I woke up at night screaming that the Germans are killing my children. And it was night after night. I had terrible dreams.
You were there at the time of independence.
Yes.
Do you remember the War of Independence?
Yes, very vividly, because where we lived, in Kiryat Ono, every day at 11 o'clock above were airplanes, Arab and Israeli. All women with children ran to the orange grove to hide. I said no. I closed the shutters. I gave my children bath. I put them to bed and I laid between them. If it hit us together. Erwin was at this time in the Sinai campaign as a soldier. He came once in a month home. I decided I have enough. I want my children to have a father. We are going to the States. We came to New York, January 11, 1957, which is another anniversary that we celebrate. A Gentile friend asked us if we would come to their Episcopalian church. I prepared a typed history of my life because this was the first time. I felt very uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it, but I decided I ought to do it. And when I started to talk, I didn't look anymore at the paper. I started to cry terrible. The people were crying with me. They heard first time in their life the story.